Hey everybody, it's Ron again. It's After 5 Auto. Come up here to the shop today to start on a new project. I brought this home Wednesday. It's a 74 Nova. Found it on Facebook Marketplace. Actually, the same place I found the Chevelle. Anyway, there was a gentleman in Ohio had owned this car, and he was in the process of restoring it, and sadly he'd passed away, and his daughter and son-in-law had the car for several years, I think 7 years, I think. Anyway, they decided to just to sell it, and I understand how that goes. I actually sold my Chevelle last Saturday. Sometimes you get stalled on projects, and and I hadn't really done nothing to the car in over a year. So I'd, but anyway, the gentleman I sold the car to, he loves it and he enjoys it. He's enjoying it and everything. He drove it home the other day, and he's really excited about the car, and I'm happy for him. But anyway, this is it's a 74 Nova. It doesn't have an engine or transmission in it as of yet. I've got one I'll show you in a minute, but it's this car is super straight. It is in great shape. It's going to need a headliner, which ain't no big deal. I've got all the sail panels, all the trim and everything. Got some new black carpet for it. I don't know why someone would put green carpet in a brown car, but they did. But anyway, this thing is super straight. This thing is in great shape. I can see why her dad was wanting to build this car. But anyway, looks like it's got fairly new tires on it and everything. It's a disc brake car. That was a thing back in the day in the early 70s. You couldn't get them either way, and I was hoping that this one would be a disc brake car, and that it would not be a hatchback, because I don't like the hatchbacks, and this one isn't. If I can get the key in there right. But anyway, as you can see, the trunk is full. A lot of new parts for this car. New carpet. I took all this stuff out the other day. There's the trunk seal, alternator brackets, still in the package. Apparently he was getting ready to build the engine for it, because there's bearings and rings in here. New front and rear shocks, a Flowmaster muffler. There's a lot of stuff in this car. But anyway, I really do like it. Cars nowadays, newer vehicles, I do like them. I like them a lot. As a matter of fact, that's one issue I have is I like new vehicles, and we do trade quite often. I recently bought a 2020 Super Sport Camaro that I really like. But anyway, that's just a car to me. I mean, it's a real nice car, and I like it, the Camaro. But I don't know. Some vehicles just have sentimental value, and they say it was okay to use their name. I'm not going to put their last name on here, but Ryan and Christy, they're wonderful people, very nice, and they took good care of this car. It stayed in the garage. It didn't sit out in the weather, and I really think they were a little sad when the car left, and I told them I was going to do a whole video series on building this car. And I'm not going to build it as fast as I did the Chevelle. The Chevelle, it was out of I don't know. I got in not too big a hurry to build the car, but anyway, I kind of threw the car together. Not that it wasn't done right, but it just I should have took my time with it, to do it the way I wanted to, and not just good enough to drive. But we did enjoy the car, driving it and everything, But I think every old car has a story, and this one definitely does. Got a new This was a vinyl top car, and there's no rust on this. This thing is in very, very nice shape. Very, very nice shape. And there's a new vinyl top in the trunk for it. The original color was of the top. It wasn't black. You can see right there just a little bit. It was pretty much the color of the body. It's like a brownish, like a dark copper, I call it. But anyway, I'm gonna put the black vinyl top back on it. Anyway, like I was saying, you know, every car has a story, and this one does. If this car hadn't been special to her dad, he wouldn't have took the time to take care of it the way he did, and marked everything. He put everything in little bags and everything, you know, everything that goes together, all the trim and, you know, the emblems and all that stuff. He really did like the car, and I know they did too, you know. But you know, sometimes you get to a point where, you know, it's like, you know, life happens, and you can't. Your intentions and your priorities outweigh your intentions, and I understand that. You know, I'm the same way. I'm no different than anyone else. I spend more time building, you know, on the side, building other people's cars than I do my own stuff. But anyway, this one, I'm caught up on the other stuff, so I'm doing this one. I do appreciate, Christy and Ryan for selling me this car. And I'll tell anyone out there, if you find something, this car is crazy straight. I mean, all underneath it, you know, as you see in other videos, once I put it on the lift, our lift is tied up right now. There's someone working on her pickup truck back there, and you know, this is just in the back of the shop. The other side of the shop is huge. That's where I actually make my living at, and you know, we can't be putting our personal stuff over there. This is where we do our after hours playing thing. That's why I call it After 5 Autos, because I don't get to, that's the only time I get to work on my stuff is after 5. But I'll show you underneath the car. There's not a rust hole in the trunk pan. The trunk pans, the floor pans, it's all in great shape. It really is. But anyway, I was going to tell you about Craigslist, or not Craigslist, but Marketplace. When you do find something on there that you like, don't wait, you know, 10 minutes or whatever. You need to get right on it, because if not, you'll lose it. I almost didn't get this car. If I hadn't been the first, or one of the first to call about it, I'm pretty sure I was the first one to not call, but message them about it. You know, when I saw it, it had been on there for 12 minutes, and I was more than willing to give them what they were asking. But and to be honest, I paid a little more than they were asking. Well, for one thing, because it was worth it. Car's worth way more than what I paid for it. But that's what I agreed to, and that's what I paid. But it wasn't dirt cheap, but it wasn't, you know, I can afford it, put it that way. But don't wait long. You know, if you see something you want on there, I don't care what it is, you know. If it's a patio set, you better call about it, or message them about it, or you know, somebody's going to get it. And I almost didn't get this car. And I want to thank Ryan and Christy too for letting me let the car sit there. We actually bought it last Sunday, and you know, my wife's in college too. She's a part-time student, and she works a full-time job, so we couldn't bring the car home Sunday. So they let me leave it there until me and my boss Jay went to go pick it up Wednesday night. We picked it up, but anyway, but it is a custom. She needs a little cleaning up, but she's in great. I really like this car. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't done nothing but think about this car since I bought it, and it still has that old car smell. A lot of people don't like that old car smell. Me and my wife do. But anyway, there's only one rip in the interior, and it's right there. Oh, thank you, Ryan, for the rag. It came in handy. That's it right there. And like I said, I'm gonna put a headliner in it and everything. And I've got the light, the dome light. I've got everything for it. The steering wheel's a little sticky, but they do that when they sit for a while. But excuse me. And I gotta get a back glass for it. It was when it was being transported. Apparently, Chrissy's dad was. You got to take the back glass out to get the vinyl top off. Excuse me. And they didn't know it when they were transporting it to North Carolina. The glass came out of it, which is not a big deal. I can get one. Excuse me. But anyway, I just want to give them a shout out and tell them thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Throat's dry. I'm gonna walk over here real quick and show you what I have to go in the car, or for the car, excuse me. I bought this stuff the other day from a good friend of mine. I actually done a engine, transmission, rear end, everything on his real nice 72 Super Sport Nova. And all the stuff that I took off the Nova, I bought off of him. One of them is this engine. It's a 350. It's a crate motor, 350. It's probably a 300 horsepower deal. A complete engine, everything, carburetor, oil. I got valve covers for it. It's got 1,200 miles on it. It runs good. I mean, I pulled the engine out of the Nova. You can see how clean it is. That thing is. It's a brand new engine, basically. You know. Got another one of these Edelbrocks too. Anyway, it's got some aluminum doodads on it. You know. Excuse me. God, I need to drink water. Anyway, yeah, HEI distributor and all that. Of course, I got to change motor mounts on it. Man, I got the engine, complete engine. I can actually put that engine in today, but I'm gonna detail underneath the hood first. I want to do it right, and it is an 010 block. It is a 350, two-piece rear main seal. I've got drive shaft, new fuel tank, another rear end. I'm not going to use the rear end. I'm going to use the disc brake conversion for the Nova. If I decide to put a 4-speed in it, there's a flywheel, the bell housing, clutch pressure plate, and I think throw-up bearings there somewhere. I got my park brake cables and everything. What's in that box underneath there? I can't remember. There's something in that white box underneath it. Move this out of the way. Fuel tank. Ooh. Not that there's anything wrong with the fuel tank in the car, but I do know that one's brand new. Oh, these are 2-inch lowering springs. I'm not going to put those in unless the car just sits way too high after I put the engine in it. And I really don't see that happening. But and I also have wrestling with this box. Also have those perches right there. They're frame perches. They're for a big block Chevy. But those fit a 72. 73 on up. They didn't use those. They used the rubber mounts actually bolted to the frame. They're what they call clamshell. These are basically the same thing but smaller, but in reverse. The rubber parts on the engine and the metal parts on the frame. Layman's terms. And I got some other stuff here. I don't know what this is. Oh, power steering pump. I got to get the car is not a power steering, which is kind of odd. It's got power brakes, but it doesn't have power steering. But it will have, you know. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I can have it running today if I wanted to, but I don't want to rush it, you know. And any of you that has built anything, put anything together, you know, I mean, if it's your daily driver, yeah, by all means, go ahead and do what you got to do to get it going. But you know, something like this, it deserves to take your time on and everything, and to do it right. Not that you wouldn't do it right if you done it fast, but you know, you see what I'm saying. Anyway, I've got my buddy up in up in Virginia. Bad 66 Chevelles. I was telling him about some of the stuff I have. Got a, 4L80E. I got a good 5.3. I got a good 4.8, and here's all the stuff that goes with it. Ooh, excuse me. Just all this is LS stuff. And these engines run, and they run good. This one, the 4.8, excuse me, has got 131,000 miles on it. I pulled both these engines out of the vehicles they came out of. This came out of an old U-Haul truck that had been wrecked. Runs good. It's a 4.8, but it runs good. And the 5.3 I took out of my son-in-law's Suburban. Thought it had an oil pressure issue, but it ended up being an oil pressure sender. But I went ahead and put a engine in it with less mileage. But this thing, like I said, it was just the oil pressure sender is all it was. But it runs good. It just has 387,000 miles on it, but it doesn't smoke, knock, peck, leak, Anyway, I'm selling both of these. It's on, I got them on Facebook Marketplace now. But anyway, there's my boss's 70 C10 where, I need to make a video on his 69 Camaro because it's actually finished now. And there's the bed for the C10. It's actually finished now, and but I haven't been able to do a video on it yet. It's up at his house. So next time he has it here, I got another few little things to do to it, and it'll be done. Park brake. One of the park brake cables on it for some reason is shorter than the other one, and when the suspension travels up and down, it applies the park brake on that one wheel. So I got to come up with something on that. There's the frame for the C10. We done a little moving around in here the other day. The frame used to sit over there on the other side of that boat, but the young man's working on his Ford there, and he needed some room. Anyway, it's probably the longest video I've ever put out, but this car deserves it. It's thank you again, Christy and Ryan. Thank you so much. And when I get this car done, I'm not going to say it's going to be, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to be right when it's done. I'm going to do the drivetrain first. I'm going to make it running and driving. I got to go through the brakes on it. I got to make sure all the brakes are okay, obviously. It's got a good brake pedal, but this wheel right here is hanging up a little bit, so I got to do that. I could pop the hood. If I can do this one-handed or not, I don't know. Yep, I got it. But anyway, I got a new heater core for it, new blower motor. See, it's a disc brake car, but I think Christy's dad had I think where he left off was cleaning the frame here, getting ready for paint because it's not greasy. It's all clean, But I'm gonna clean it all up real good. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go get some. Sorry, there's another airplane going by. We're here at the airport, but I'm gonna paint all this, the radiator support. All this is gonna be satin black, just like from the factory. I'm gonna pull the master cylinder and the brake booster off, and all the wiring and everything off the firewall. Clean it all up, paint it up, make it look right. Oh, I was looking for that. It's hanging right there. The rod for the shifter. I was looking for it the other day, couldn't find it, and the reason I couldn't find it is because it's right there. But anyway, I do like this car very much, and I can't thank you all enough for selling it to me. But when I do get it running and driving, get her done, if it's okay with you all, I'm gonna bring the car back over there and let you take it for a ride. All right. Probably not gonna do anything to it today. My wife, where she goes to college and she works full time, we don't get to spend a whole lot of time together. And today is one of those rare moments where we can. So we're gonna do that today. Like I said, we're gonna go get some paint for it, and and we'll do a little update video on that. All right, I'll see y'all next time.